it again.
On TSN.
Week 2 of women's 5-pin play, and our opening preliminary features Andrea Harris from Newfoundland and Labrador against Penny Hepfner from Alberta. And you can see that Hepfner has 2 marks up, and Andrea, coming off the open in 2, misses the head pin left.
A little bit of a stick at the foul line made her stand up a little bit straighter, changes the angle and the trajectory of the ball. Better that time, way more solid at the foul line when she released that ball. Smooth, good lift on the inside of that 5-3-2 spare. A little bit of movement. Wow.
And got it by actually the ball moving away from the head pin.
Pick it up here on the replay. She's in the left-hand pocket. Ball's moving that way. That was a 3-pin. Almost stood back up on the corner pin spot.
Penny is making her 5th appearance on TSN. Back in 1999, she was a runner-up in the pins game as she has 4 marks, 3 strikes out of 4 frames so far. So a lot of early pressure right now on Andrea Harris from Conception Bay South, Newfoundland and Labrador. Conception Bay South, a relatively new community. Through amalgamation, took in about 9 centers, including places like Topsail, about 20 kilometers from St. John's.
A little bit of a force that time, right on the middle, drove the head pin straight back. Good cover up on the left-hand side. Andrea's got to find the right angle here to start to get some strikes. Penny's off to a great start. Does, cleans it up for the 15.
But as she looks at the scoreboard, that's not the kind of thing you need. You cannot go spare, open when your opponent goes strike, spare, strike, strike.
True enough, she's got to find the middle left-hand frame. It's 3 frames in a row now that she's missed on that left-hand lane. Every one of them she's pushed left. Have to make an adjustment if she's used to the ball moving more, depending on what her home lanes are like. Right, she's going to have to change the angle to make sure she gets to the pocket.
While some of the bowlers, look, you go to every bowling center, and that's what experience does. I mean, if you go and enter tournament play, that's what helps you become a better bowler. So you go to different lanes. These bowlers do practice on these lanes before they step onto them, so they do have a sense, but things will change
through an event. Absolutely. Sure. They do, but again, experience. The more you bowl in different places, you get used to the way approaches slide, you get used to ball reaction, you can understand whether or not the lanes have been cleaned, whether they've been refinished. All those kinds of things have a big impact on the way the ball rolls and how much movement you get on it.
Well, this is a bit of good news for Andrea Harris, as Penny Hepfner punches the head pin, and will have an open here in the 5th and just really cuts off the 4 marks in a row.
She's got a 42-pin advantage, Penny does at the moment. But you're right, an opening for Andrea now. She's got to take advantage, has to have a double to get back into this match.
Nicely done, boy. He hasn't left anything on the lane so far.
Pretty solid game so far from Penny. 3 strikes in 5 frames. And one more in the left-hand pocket. Great reaction. Not a lot of speed on the ball, but she's extremely accurate. 6th frame now for Andrea. Wow, really forced that one. Picked up the speed a bunch.
Oh, great action off the sidewall as the pin came back to take the 2.
Well, it was a good shot. A little bit of a funny bounce because there shouldn't have been a question about the spare. That's exactly where you want to throw it. Now that's the shot she's got to remember. In that left-hand pocket, little bit of turn. There it is. Better shot that time. First strike of the match.
And first back-to-back marks for Andrea Harris.
Way better timing on that shot. Slide foot and arm got to the foul line at the same time, and good release.
Penny Hepfner. Oh, great action. Looked like it might be thin, but that's back-to-back now again as she puts something together in 6 and 7.
First time in the right-hand pocket. This overhead right over the center arrow, and then just a little bit of movement. Bowling ball takes out the right corner pin on a deflection.
So second time in the game, she put back-to-back 3-4, back-to-back 6-7, and then of course that head pin is the donut in the middle. Penny, who works as a service clerk for the Real Canadian Superstore. No head pin this time. She was all over it, and that's 3 in a row.
And either pocket so far working for Penny. She's got great roll on the ball. Andrew's still got a chance here, possible 303.
Interesting, though. I mean, we've seen that force to that side quite often.
Every time she's missed now, 5 frames, she's missed the head pin. Every one of them, she's pushed left.
Nice job, though, to get the spare coming off the strike in 7. But
good count back, but strike spare is not going to be enough. She has to have, really, she's got to get 4 in a row here to finish.
Not when your opponent has a card like that. Oh, good.
A little bit of break on a thin left-hand pocket hit. Second strike in a row on the left-hand lane for Andrea. Left-hand pocket. Penny can put it away here. She's going to finish the 9th and 10th frames.
Oh,
just on a great roll at the moment, Vic.
She ever.
That's her 7th strike in 9 frames.
Now remember, last week we saw Sandy Anderson bowl a 355. Come on. Nope.
A little bit too thin that time. You could see the 3-pin, a little chatter on the rubber band. Just didn't take out the corner pin.
Our defending champion. She's our first semifinalist. Very nice. Boy, she's just been all over that head pin. Penny Hepfner. Great game.
And she really hasn't made a mistake this whole match. 1 head pin in the 5th frame, but other than that, she's been solid, perfect. Only the 2nd miss of the game for Penny. 318.
Oh, wonderful. So she will advance as her husband Warren is here, and we welcome him to Calgary. Now it's Andrea Harris to finish up. Andrea, who works for the Canada Revenue Agency as a taxpayer service agent. She'll take home $250 as a loser of this preliminary. Just wasn't able to put anything together.
Never really looked comfortable. She was forcing the ball early. Just couldn't seem to find a rhythm.
and just wouldn't fall for her. So a 241 for Andrea Harris. But Penny Hepfner from Medicine Hat will move on, looking to become our second semifinalist. Week 2 women's 5-pin play, the Canadian Bowling Championships.